or good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching this from across the world. Welcome to another episode of Livewire TV. Livewire TV is a place where we talk all about business strategies, marketing, and mindset strategies, and ultimately have really inspiring conversations with experts in their field who are really there to help you to reach that next level in your business. I am your host, Rohini. Livewire TV is brought to you by Livewire Media, where we do corporate videography and video marketing. Now, I've got a real special guest on for you tonight. So, Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here.
So, for those of you who don't know Stephen, he is all about helping you to break through that glass ceiling, not only in your mindset, but also in your business. He is such a multi-talented person. With over 20 years of experience, I would expect you to be very multi-talented.
Thank you. Yeah.
So his kind of specialities are helping you to sell with confidence, helping you to pinpoint the weak points within your mindset and also within your business as well. And also helping you to not only boost your morale, like as a business owner, because let's be honest, we do get down from time to time, but also boosting the morale of your staff so you don't get a high staff turnover, which is a challenge that I know a lot of businesses tend to struggle with. So guys, if you have any questions for Stephen around business, strategies, marketing, mindset, drop them in the comment section below and we'll be answering them live for you today. And also, let me know where you're watching from in the world today. I'd love to know who you are and where you're watching from, because I know that we broadcast globally to a global audience. So, Stephen, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about your background and how you kind of got into the coaching space.
Yeah, I'll tell you a backstory if that's okay. Because when I tell people where I started in business, they look at me a little, what? How the hell are you doing this? So my first business was when I became a physiotherapist 28 years ago. That's quite scary.
Wow.
And
you're that old.
I promise you I am. Thank you for that. So I was 26, so you now know my age. And I started my first business as a physiotherapist, and I studied lots of other things as well, osteopathy and Chinese medicine, Japanese medicine, and loads of stuff. But I went started my own business, and I was very successful. I was technically very good. What I did, loads of clients. I was like, yay, this is the life. And I was enjoying myself, earning more money than I've ever earned before. And yeah, it was good. I was really happy. And then I noticed something that really confused me. It really confused me. So people were coming in with real physical problems, horrendous pain. They couldn't walk, they couldn't work, couldn't pick their kids up, they couldn't play their sports. They were fed up and highly motivated to come and see me, pay money, take time off work if they were working, and travel distances. And I did what I did on the couch using my knowledge and my skills. And then I coached them. Stop doing this, do some of that. Don't sit in front of a computer for 8 hours a day and do some stretches, really simple stuff. I wasn't selling them any expensive gadgets, or didn't have to go and buy yourself a new mattress that costs £800 and stuff. It was really simple. Anybody could have done it. And some people did. And funny enough, they got better, faster, happier, didn't need to see me as much, and referred more people to me. Fantastic. Everyone's happy. But a large amount of people, and this number I've looked at, is pretty consistent over the last 20 plus years of me looking at this, but 40% of people didn't do what I suggested.
Right.
So they did it a little bit. Or when I asked them, they say, well, I did it, and then I forgot, or I was too busy. Or my favorite response was, and they didn't know why they hadn't done it. So they're in real pain. It may be costing them money, and life is not happy, but they still wouldn't do what they could easily do to help themselves.
Right.
I was like, this is not a one-off. I'm seeing a lot of people with this. And I just got fascinated. And then I asked myself a really stupid question. because that question took me from studying to be a physio, and this is my career pathway, and it just went dumb. If we do this when we're in real physical pain, when and where else do we do it? And
Good
the
question.
answer is everywhere. Relationships, business, money, health, everything. And I just got hooked into that question, answering that question. And that's what the last 20 plus years of my career has been about.
Why do we do it to ourselves?
Well, if you ask most people, they will come up with the answer. And most coaches will tell you the same thing. They'll say that we do it to protect ourselves from failure, losing money, looking stupid, being embarrassed, the protection thing.
Yeah.
And we all know that. You just nodded your head and went, yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty obvious.
You're going to say something different now, aren't you?
I'm going to say something and to that, because that's just the first layer. And that's what we get hooked on. We have all these painful emotions, fear, worry about what's going to go wrong if we do this, and you're talking about selling yourself, for example. We bring it back to that. So I know a lot of great salespeople who can't sell themselves, or more accurately, they won't sell themselves, or people won't price themselves at the right price for their services, or they won't go for the level of job they should be going for, or they won't work at the right level of a client they should be going for. So when it happens absolutely everywhere. So the obvious thing is, well, I don't want to look like a fool if I put my prices up to what I believe they should be, and someone says no, and I can't afford to take that risk, because what will happen? So the human brain is heavily, heavily biased to solving problems. Most of our life is about solving problems. But then people say, oh, yeah, it's the fight or flight thing. But actually, if you're lucky enough to live in the West, most of the time we don't live in fight or flight problem. There's other, occasionally we get it. But most of the time we don't have that problem. That's what civilization has done for us. So part of our brain does fight or flight when we really are in trouble. And it will scan the environment. Is everything going to be okay? Yeah, we're fine. Then most of our life is about solving problems. And if you're doing it well, better and better problems. The better the problem you solve, and this is the same in business, the better your life gets. So if you solve a really good problem that a lot of people are having, then you do well in business. So most of the human brain is about solving problems. But on top of it, probably the last 20% is about achieving goals. But most people will tell you, you've got to have confidence, you've got to go and smash those goals and go for it. But actually, the brain's not built that way. You've got to solve problems first, and then you can go for your goals. Does it make sense so far?
Yeah, it does make sense. And guys, if you have any questions for Stephen, or if you're watching on the replay and you have questions, still get your questions in, because Stephen will be more than happy to follow up with you guys as well.
So can I finish? So sorry, can I finish off my questions? I haven't quite finished. I'm monologuing, sorry. But to answer your question, what happens is part of our brain says, I need to protect you from whatever you're worried about. But what happens is, rather than just a good perspective on protecting you from making a mistake, looking stupid, losing your money, it becomes obsessed. It overdoes it. It becomes excessive. So that's the first bit. We overly fear things when we don't need to. That's the first bit. But actually, what really is doing, which makes us not want to get rid of it, is because if we solved problems and everything is okay, we didn't lose our money, we can actually be happy and successful. So this excessive holding back, excessive doubt, excessive loss of confidence is actually a happiness and success strategy. And I can prove that to anybody who's got this problem within 2 hours. We'll find out.
Could you elaborate on that a bit more?
So when we solve a problem, what's the point of solving a problem? Solve the problem so we go, relief. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've lost Stephen for a little bit. So for those of you who are watching, Stephen was just talking essentially about using problems to break through that glass ceiling, to break your way forward, to move on, and essentially create an entirely new market space. Stephen, I think we lost you there for a
Yeah, we
little.
lost. It went a bit funny for a change. So I'll go back. I'll go back to where we were.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what happened there. So when we a lot of people think they have goals, but what they have is I don't wants.
Yeah.
So what we do is when we get those, we then go, oh, I've solved a problem.
Mm.
But when we actually want a goal, we get to celebrate, we get to feel good. So this is a really good test of whether you've actually got real goals or I don't wants. But our brain says, let's be safe, fight or flight, let's solve some problems so we can then smile and be happy.
Yeah.
So when we sabotage ourselves, we're actually doing it to be successful. So when you have this argument inside your head saying, I know I'm worth more, I should put my prices up, and the other part goes, no, that's too risky, you shouldn't be doing it, they're actually doing it for the same reason. Because
Wow.
it's only one you. They're just two different strategies.
That has given an entirely new dimension or paradigm to the saying, fail your way forward. Have you ever heard of that saying before?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. What are
And
your thoughts on that saying?
well, try not to fail too much because it hurts. And anybody who says to you, oh, failure is the best thing and it doesn't matter and you can, everybody should not like failure. Okay. It sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's what can you do and learn from it as fast as possible. But when you're obsessively thinking, I cannot fail, I mustn't do anything that's wrong. What you
Yeah.
do is you have the real you that's saying, let's go, I'm capable, I deserve this, I should start my business, I should put the prices up, I should be working with these people. And then there's another part going, nope, put the brake on. So you're driving with the brake going on.
Yeah.
Because this wants to help you, but in a way that you should never take any risks, which is impossible.
Yeah. And I imagine a lot of business owners kind of struggle with that. And that is essentially their glass ceiling to that next level. Would you say that's a key component to scaling up a business?
I think the key component for me to scaling up a business, the first thing is, if you're a solopreneur, hire a team, get your team in, because if I call it the spy who loved me trap. I'm not sure you're old enough for this. Remember the
No,
Bond?
but I like the sound of it already.
Yeah. So if you go and watch it, the soundtrack is, and I'm going to sing. I'm sorry because I can't sing very well. She sings "Nobody Does It Better," and it's all about and this is what entrepreneurs, solopreneurs do. They say they often go from employed to being a solopreneur and say, I can do this better, let's start my own business.
Yeah.
And then they go, well, I've got to do everything. I've got to be in control of it because I hated not being in control of it when I used to be employed. And actually what happens is you get stuck doing all the stuff that is not very valuable for you to do when you should be doing the stuff that's the most valuable.
Yeah.
So that's another way of sabotaging. So get a team and get people who are valuable doing things that you're not so valuable at. That's the recommendation on that one.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a whole other topic and course in itself. But let's say people do already have a team, because I know a lot of people watching this do already have amazing teams working with them.
Yeah.
How can they not only boost their staff morale, but also reduce their turnover rates?
So the thing I advise, I ask the question is simply this. Do you have a staff retention policy? And I don't mean HR led. HR will often be the ones that own it because it falls under their remit. But you as the business leader should be saying, what's our strategy for retaining? The next part of that is the people who need to be doing it on a daily basis are your managers. It's not something that should be constructed as an idea and then the HR do something and sends out some emails every so often. It's an activity that is done by the managers, the line managers, because most people leave bad managers, not bad jobs. They get
I
stressed
can
out.
definitely relate to that.
Yeah. They get stressed out because bad management practice, lack of communication, lack of ideas, an understanding of where the business is going. And it's actually very simple. Appreciate the person, help them do the best job they can. Can they do the job? Give them a career pathway. All these things are well known, but most companies don't have a owner or C-suite led strategy, which is as important as hitting operational goals and projects.
And what about if you're a solopreneur who outsources everything?
That's your team.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
it's still the same principle then.
It's the same principle, because this is about leadership and management. So
Yeah,
as a solopreneurs run out of time, so they outsource.
yeah,
But now that is your team. So how do you make your team, even though there may be different companies, want to work for you? This is my definition of leadership. Not that you have a title, is that people want to work for you and with you.
yeah.
That's leadership. And you can do the same with suppliers and people who are outsourced, who they've got 4 different jobs to do. When you ask, they go, yeah, I'll put yours first, because they like working for you. So it's the same thing. It's just another team.
Amazing, amazing. So before we wrap up, I know that you've got a massive vision and you love helping entrepreneurs. What would be like your top 3 tips to help them leap into 2022 with momentum?
Spend time as an entrepreneur learning how to lead and manage a team, and know whether you are a leader or a manager or both.
Yeah,
Because if you're a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur with a team, individuals can't create more time, but as an individual, but business leaders can, through the people they hire, and they're leveraging their skills and their knowledge.
yeah,
Leaping forward, the other thing obviously is find out where you're getting in your own way and what you won't do, because what you won't do controls your results, and that includes your team. What will your people in your team not do, which
yeah.
gets in the way of your vision and your results? And I think the third thing, if you're a business leader or owner, make sure you give yourself time to be strategic, because it's your vision, your creativity, and find ways, even if it's your own business, to have new ideas, and give yourself time to do that and opportunities to do that, because it's all too easy to come down into operational tasks and do the work and fill your day with doing stuff. Where if you're a leader of your business, don't know how big or how small it is, your job is primarily, your work is to think.
I like that quote. So, Stephen, I know that we've barely scratched the surface with all of this knowledge, and I know that you got 20 years of experience in all of this. So, where can people get in touch with you to find out more about your services, your courses, and ultimately connect with you?
Easiest place, certainchange.co.uk.
Yeah,
Connect through there. There's, have a look, and then send a form in, say hi, or just find me on LinkedIn. Very easy. Stephen Bates, Certain Change. That's the easiest way.
fantastic. And I know that you share some really valuable content on LinkedIn. So, guys, do connect with Stephen on all of the platforms that you can, because he is just incredible. We're going to wrap it up here. I really appreciate you guys watching. And like I said before, if you have any questions for Stephen, even if you're watching on the replay, drop them in the comment section and we'll follow up with you. And also connect with Stephen as well. He's so knowledgeable in everything that he does. And we barely even scratched the surface today. I cannot boost him enough on this. Yeah, amazing. Stephen, really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Have an amazing week.